we were talking about when we define how we were supposed to get up, what did everybody do? That's just a decision, right? You made that a decision to get up. You made a decision to hold each other accountable. And that's really all that it is. So what did we say? How do we define what a teammate does? And then hold each other, right? So do you feel on your team that you hold each other to a very high standard of accountability? No. You don't. Not always. So not always means no, right? Because accountable means 100% of the time. So that's something that you can get better at. And when we talk about it, right? Like out here, we're gonna get better at it, because what happens if we don't? Right, or we run, or we do more push-ups. But it's hard to do in practice or in the weight room because what? Right? No. But in a game, if you don't hold each other accountable, then what happens? Right? Or if you don't hold each other accountable in the off season, right? So being, right, we talk about the program. We're good team leaders and we good teammates, and we prepare ourselves every day for either role, right? So we have two captains on this team that were assigned to be leaders of the team. Now, there's a lot of teams, right, where captains aren't leaders. You go up and you can flip the coin and anything. You guys have probably done more of accountability today than you have in a little bit, right? Because you're forced to. So we don't make excuses, and we don't let others make excuses for us. Now, when we look at your team, right, you're Division 3. So your coach, right, in Division 1, my coach pretty much owned me. I was like the piece of cattle. So I have to be there in the off. I don't get to decide. But you guys, right, it's not any less than volleyball level or talent or anything, but it's more of a decision for you for what you're going to do in the off season. And do you think that there's a direct correlation with teams that work hard in the off season and then how they do in season? Yeah. There is, right? Without a doubt. So how many of you would give yourself an A in terms of working hard in the off season? Okay. How many of you would give yourselves an A in making sure that the other people are coming in and working out and playing and getting gym and doing all that? So right there, right, that I'm not on your team. That's up for you guys to decide. And you guys get in there and you get better, and what happens is you keep getting better. But if you go in to get better and you hold her accountable to go in and get better, and then she holds her, and then your roommate, so you're like, well, she's going, so I'm going to go. Then what happens, the whole level of the team owes up, right? So if I'm on a track team, I can just keep kicking ass in the 100-meter sprint. And just because I'm doing that, that doesn't mean, right, that the other person has to do it. But in this sport, I can be the best setter in the world, but if my hitters aren't coming in and getting reps, are we going to be the best team? So thinking about, right, and what's done is done. So as seniors or as upperclassmen, do you guys feel a little more sense of urgency now than you did last summer? Yeah. Right? Why? Because you're graduating and this is it. You're never going to be playing volleyball with Wisconsin Eau Claire in August again. But all of you are, right? So we don't have to wait till we get to that point. I know when I was a junior in my spring season, I was like, I'm not ready to be done in December, so I Googled professional volleyball so I could see what I could do after. So that kept me right focused and keep going, that it wasn't over in December. But at some point it does. And did it seem like yesterday you were a freshman here, and now you're graduating? So with your team and what everybody said and what we watched for the first half hour, it's not that you're incapable of being accountable. It's just whether or not we make that decision to be accountable. So that's all it is. And as we go into this next quarter, all this is, right, is a learning experience. Everything that you're going to be able to pull, and maybe in a month from now, am I boring you? Okay, focus on me. In a month from now, when you're starting to say, oh, well, like I'm starting, so I don't need to go in and get my one more, right? Think about that, the accountability piece. Sure, maybe you're leading the conference in digs or kills or assists or whatever, but at the end of the game, at the end of the match, does the team that wins goes to the team that wins, or the team with the people that have the best percentages? If you're the kill leader, does that mean that your team's going to win the game? No. So raising our team up because I'm helping raising my teammates up. So as we go now into this next one, think about the accountability piece. You guys are all nice, right? I bet you guys get along really well. Are you a pretty close team? Yeah. So what happens when we're a close team? Because what? What do we not want to be seen as? A bitch, right? We don't want to be seen as a bitch. But when at the end, right, and I really hope that you don't have to do flutter kicks when you're playing volleyball because I think it's going to take a long time. But if I go out there and say, hey, you know what? When you're playing defense, if you just keep your left foot on the line, you're probably going to dig more balls. Are you going to be pissed at your teammates? Why? What are they doing? Helping you out. That's what we're doing, holding each other accountable. Right now, holding each other accountable means less push-ups, less sprints, right? In the game, holding each other accountable means more victories. So that's all it is. As we go into this next quarter, where's Katrina? Come on up. What can you do to become better teammates in this? You got them.